Welcome to day 13 of the transformation. Today I'm talking about a topic called mind calluses or building mind calluses. When I was in college, or when I just started college, I met my wife for the first time. And when I met her, I was barefoot. So for some reason, I thought it was really cool to walk around the college campus barefoot in my ragged shorts and Grateful Dead t-shirts with a pair of duct taped flip-flops in my back pocket. I thought it was cool to walk around and be able to walk barefoot on cold ground, hot ground, didn't matter. Walk across glass, stick my foot in a bed of coals, and that sort of thing. Completely stupid. I was young and dumb. But the reason I was able to do that, the reason I was able to walk around barefoot all the time is because over time I had built calluses on my feet. Humans were born naturally to be able to run on terrain with just your bare feet. And so your feet will build calluses really rather quickly. So that's what happened to me. And so I could walk around and I'd feel very little pain or anything on my feet. Most of us who wear shoes all the time have very tender feet, so the nerve endings are very much exposed. So anyway, the point is that over time, I built calluses. Now, my wife wasn't going to tolerate that behavior, so I became a tenderfoot like the rest of us. What I want to talk about today is using that analogy or that metaphor of calluses to think about this concept of building a mind callus for handling personal transformation. When we first start out with any transformation, and for most of us, there's a few of us that are just superhuman and exceptional people. But for me, usually when I'm struggling, I'm in the doldrums. I'm in a state of depression or worry or anxiety or concerns or whatever. And sometimes I'm just discouraged. And when you're feeling that way, it's very hard to lift yourself out of that state you're in and do something positive for yourself. Everything feels like it's going to be too hard. Everything feels like it's not going to be effective. You feel like you're going to fail no matter what you do. But the point with a mind callus is that if you just force yourself, to do even the most basic thing to get yourself out and doing something positive, yank yourself out of your comfort zone. And once you do that and you become uncomfortable, then your mind will start building resistance or a callus to the old thoughts that kept you down before. I got this concept from watching a video from a gentleman named David Goggins, who's very popular in the endurance athlete space. He's a very funny but also very serious personality about somebody who transformed his life from a miserable wretch to some amazing person that does phenomenal feats with endurance sports. But in the video, he talked about this idea of callousing the mind against that old self and transforming yourself to something new, something greater, something better than you were before. Building a mind callus helps you face discomfort and struggles and difficulties daily. So when you wake up and get going and you push yourself out of your comfort zone and you push yourself into doing something that you would normally not do, then if you do that every day, you make that commitment that every day I'm going to do this, and you continue to do that, it'll get much easier. Just like with my feet when I was younger in college, your mind will build a callus and things will not be so difficult anymore. And then you'll be ready to push yourself even further. Struggle, or the idea of pushing yourself beyond your limits, even if it seems ridiculously easy to you, it's not ridiculously easy if it's hard at the time for you. So like I said a couple weeks ago, I pushed myself to start running again. And at first, I could only run a half mile maybe, and that was really discouraging. But that half mile at the time was was difficult for me because I was out of practice, out of the mindset. But once I forced myself out of my comfort zone to go do that, I started to transform pretty quickly because some of those calluses from my past are still there. Overcoming obstacles and negative thoughts contributes to mental resilience. So the more you overcome things, the more confidence you will have. And that confidence will serve as the basis for your mind callus. Each time you overcome a challenge, or each time you overcome an obstacle or push through a barrier, that's one more layer that you are building to protect your mind from the negative thoughts of your past. I am now invincible or impervious to the demons of just a few weeks ago because I've built a callus that strengthens me against them. Now, of course, I have much larger and more real demons to deal with. But the point is that you, instead of being haunted and effectively cursed by these thoughts and this negativity that surrounds you, you can fight against that by pushing yourself every day to do something that's beyond, just slightly beyond your reach. And when you do so, you start to become invulnerable to the thoughts that kept you down before. So forming a daily commitment, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone is the core to building a mind callus. I encourage you, just like me now, to go out and find something that you can do that forces you to improve, to forces you daily to stretch beyond what you're capable of. This will give you great potential to become something better than you are today. Just imagine what you could become. Who could you be? How much better version of yourself can you be in a year from now? I mean, in just a year, you could completely transform your life. And so how do you do that? You've got to get into a daily habit of pushing you beyond your comfort zone. There is hope. You can start now. You can never give up. And believe me, it gets better and it gets easier as you build those mind calluses.